In this video, we're going to look at people who have a smaller pension pot of 100k and how to manage their finances and happiness in retirement. This is the average pension pot by age for the UK, and we can see that age 55 to 64, the average is 107,300. But I think this is potentially misleading because it probably excludes defined benefit pensions, and then also it includes people who stopped working for quite a while to raise children. So it's a case of the average being a bit misleading. However, I do believe, so it's not far off what quite a lot of people have in their pension, and they'd like to know how to get the most from it. So we start out with what I call life 1.0, and this is dominated by contracts that you have. One example is a mortgage that needs a job to pay it off, and then a job contract dictates what you do during your 9 to 5. But as we get older, we pay off our mortgage and we have life 2.0, which has a lot more freedom in it. You've probably got more happiness, maybe less money. But what you can do in life 2.0 is you can monetize a passion, you can teach others, and you can redefine retirement. So it's not just about sitting around watching Jeremy Kyle, but you're actually out and about, you've got a purpose in life, and there's income coming in from various things that you enjoy, although maybe not as much as you had when you were working for someone else. So we've got three main assets. The first one is the amount of time that we have, and this is dictated by how old we are and how healthy we are. So you can maybe get a bit more time in your life by exercising and eating a bit more healthily. Then we've got money, and we've kind of already discussed that. And then finally, we've got the mindset that you have and the resourcefulness that you have. And if you have a flexible mindset, you'll be open to trying new things. And I think that's just so important later on in life because it can really help you get the most out of life. Here's a graph of happiness over time. And again, I'm not quite sure I believe it. According to this, I'm at my lowest point of happiness being 53, and that things are going to get better and then kind of plateau off a bit. So I don't know whether I'm going to be a grumpy old man or not, but this certainly shows that you can reinvent yourself and really understand what works in life for you. In terms of building up your savings, the suggestions from my previous videos still apply, and the case studies are kind of relevant, but you just need to scale down the numbers. And the pension is still the most tax efficient way for you to save. A useful book is Die with Zero by Bill Perkins, and it says getting all you can for your money and your life. Why wait until your health and life energy have begun to seriously wane? Rather than just focusing on saving up for a big pot of money that you'll most likely be unable to spend over your lifetime, live your life to the fullest right now. Chase memories and life experiences. That's the way to live. And in the end, it's all about acquiring memories and not really things or money, which is just pieces of paper. Another good book is From Strength to Strength by Arthur C. Brooks, about finding success, happiness, and deep purpose in the second half of your life. One quote is that as we get older in the West, we generally think we should have a lot to show for ourselves, lots of trophies. But according to Eastern philosophy, this is backward thinking. And as we get older, we shouldn't accumulate more. Instead, we should strip things away to represent who we truly are, find our true selves, and then we'll live the second half of our lives with true purpose and happiness. It's possible to retrain later on in life. And one of the things you can do is go to Skills for Life, which is a government website. Just put it into Google, and it's got like returnerships, which is specific training for people over 50 that want to pursue a new career. And it's also got all kinds of other courses that are open to people of all ages, and most of them are free. For finding a job, you can go to the website restless.co.uk. It has a few jobs. It's a fairly new website, but it is focused on people over 50. And so the vacancies are often tailored to your needs. And then also it does still have some courses there, and it has some volunteering suggestions as well. Whilst you're still working your main job, you could try out alternative work at the weekend to go alongside it. Or if you do retire early, you could do some work in a pub or restaurant in the summer, maybe, and then some retail work at Christmas where there's a lot of demand. And then in the spring and the autumn, that's when you pursue your hobbies, and that's when you go on holiday. And you can also volunteer to get experience in areas where you'd like to learn more. For sorting out your finances in your 60s, the first thing to do is to check your national insurance record and analyze any gaps, top them up if necessary. You should also consolidate past pensions. This just simplifies things. You can probably move the pensions to a lower cost platform. You can also check what your pensions are invested in. Often they're invested in rather conservative things like too much bonds. And if you find that you don't have a very large pension pot, I mean, one reason could be you didn't pay much in, but another reason could be that the pension just underperforms dramatically and that you need to take some action to sort it out. And my general guidance would be keep it simple, be defensive in your investing. So don't try and find the next Nvidia, the next Tesla, and lower your costs. To construct a defensive investment portfolio, you could go to the website curvo.eu/backtest, and it has all sorts of built-in portfolios, and you can construct your own as well. It enables you to look at interesting things like the drawdown of the portfolio, and you can see how much the drawdown was in percentage terms and also how long the drawdown lasted for. And you can use that as a basis for planning in retirement. An essential thing to do is to construct a detailed budget. And to do that, you can use an app, but personally, I prefer a spreadsheet because if I go to Tesco's, I'm buying all kinds of things, food, drink, maybe prescription medicine, all kinds of things. And only really a spreadsheet can get me the granular detail that shows me where my money's going. And you need to work out where your money is going. Then what you can do is get a list of the top 10 expenditure items that you have in a year. And this will be things like your council tax and your gas and electricity bill. Then compile a list of your top 10 most enjoyable activities, which will be things like maybe walking the dog or playing Cluedo with the family at Christmas. And you'll realize that these are lists of two completely different things, and that where you spend your money on and what you enjoy actually totally opposite ends of the spectrum. So that means that you can get happiness without spending too much money, and you can possibly challenge some of your expenditure items, such as how much money you're spending on your car. You can reduce costs here without altering your enjoyment in life. In retirement, to raise extra money, you could look at downsizing your home, and you could also look at geographic arbitrage, which means moving to an area where house prices are cheaper, maybe the cost of living is lower, then that makes your money go a bit further. You could also look at buying an annuity, which will give you a cash income for life. This is better when interest rates are high, and then the returns on annuities will be better. And you might want to do it excluding any tax-free cash from your pension because the annuity will become taxable. You might want to purchase life insurance if there's two of you, and if you find that on the state pension for both of you, you do okay, but if there's only one of you, things aren't quite so good. Then also you might want to look into equity release on your home so you can raise some money from the fact that you own a house without a mortgage, and this would work better if there's low interest rates. But these options are things not to be considered lightly. You need to take advice, you need to weigh up all the possible downsides because there are a lot of things that could go wrong if you tie up your money in the way of things like equity release or an annuity, because they're pretty much a final solution for your finances. In some of my previous videos, I've talked about an ISA bridge, which looks at the gap between retirement and when you can take your SIP. If you have a small pension pot of around 100k, you're looking at a pension bridge which goes from retirement until the time you can access your state pension. But what's more likely is that you'll use the smaller pension pot to augment what you already have in your state pension rather than using it solely as a source of income. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section about what you think about this video, because I often use it to make new videos and new content appropriate to my listeners. Hopefully this has given you a lot of inspiration, and I think you should next watch this video